Hey you guys, what's up? This is the Anime Blaze coming to you with another video, and yes, I know I haven't been making videos as often as I would like, but I've been busy recently, um, you know, and I've been busy, so busy, but, I've been too busy to even, like, take a look at the anime I want to review, and I have it, Toko, and, I haven't had enough time to actually write out a script of like the main points I want to talk about of the series, characters, comparison between the anime and the manga, that sort of thing. So I mean, yeah, I haven't actually had enough time to actually do that. But I'm back for now to give you guys, I guess you could say, manga, an underrated manga discussion slash review. Main reason being is because when I originally created my channel, I originally wanted to talk about anime, manga, video games, whatever, but I didn't want to just always talk about like big three or whatever stuff like that. I guess that's just not my style. I mean, I don't really watch those shows as much. But the main things I wanted to do was bring up underrated anime, um, underrated series in general, because while there are the big three, and like we said in the Green Clan discussion not too long ago, there are other animes out there besides the big three that are maybe even that maybe aren't, you might not say are better than the big three, but they're still good on a side note of just because they're different. They're different shows and stuff. Just like how the big three are different, there are different types of anime shows out there. Thousands of them, maybe even millions that you haven't even seen. Just like me, I know there's millions or probably billions I haven't even seen. So, the main purpose that I really want to bring up on my channel is reviewing and bringing up underrated series. This is the first, I guess you could say, manga review that I've actually reviewed. Like, really, the first manga I actually reviewed. The first manga I actually wanted to review was Mega, but yeah, I changed my mind at the last second. It's my favorite manga, but I wanted to review something else first that I could sort of get behind and push out there to you guys and say, check this out, it's a good series. And Mega, for me, it's a good series, but there's just like too much hype that I have for it. It's like really good, but I don't have enough time to like write out a script. Whereas in Parasyte, I can just talk to you right off the bat and tell you what it's about and everything. So yeah, let's get on with this. So the story revolves around a high school boy. I believe he's a junior. Uh, his name is Shinichi Izumi, and you know, just by the looks of him, he looks like your normal high school student. Um, you know, he does homework, all your normal high school stuff. And he kind of gets beat up every now and then. You can tell he has sort of a tough mentality. Well, not really a tough mentality, maybe more of like a persevering kind of personality. But he really just wants to, be there for his friends and stuff. And whenever they're in trouble and whatnot, he gets beat up every now and then. But all that sort of changes one day when a strange spore-like thing falls from the sky, and then from that spore comes a weird snake-looking thing, which Shinichi initially thinks is a snake, and then when he sees it jump at him, he automatically covers up his face, I believe. Either that or he sneezes or something. You know how people sneeze, achoo, cover up their face or something. And the snake, I'm just going to refer to it as a snake, it digs itself into his skin. And he's like, he's in pain. And then later on, he figures out that that was not, in fact, a snake. That thing that crawled its way into his arm was an alien of, well, essentially they're not actually an alien because, as the author stated, they're from Earth, but anything falling from the sky could probably be considered like alien life or something. And it's strange, so I'm going to refer to them as aliens. And he finds out that it's an alien. Uh, it's an alien which is he names it Migi, as in left. I believe it's left for Japanese, in Japanese. And so it's in his left hand now, and you know his hand really doesn't have its. I mean, it looks like a normal hand, but Migi can stretch to any kind of lengths. We can become claws, a sword, like as sharp and hard as a sword, or he can just become soft and normal like fingers or whatever. But um, there is something that happens. Well, no. Before I get to that, Migi tells Shinichi that he is not the only one of his kind there on his planet. He is not the only one. There are other parasites just like him, only they're hostile. Now, this could be inferred that Migi isn't hostile because he didn't reach the brain. Uh, there's that. But there's also the fact that the series plays a major role on evolution, as in being the fact of how parasites start off pretty much as in their primal instincts, as in like devouring people, like out of nowhere, they just grab them, just kill them. I mean, they trick them into going somewhere that's quiet or something, and they kill them and eat them. That sort of thing. That's their main instinct, to kill people and then eat them. But um, yeah, the series goes from that their primal instinct to being more civilized and organized. They start going from that to being more civilized and organized to actually forming groups and actually creating things that can actually help them and give them the upper hand. And I really think that's pretty cool. I mean, just like noticing. And the main thing, I mean, while I'm on the subject of evolution and change, the series also focuses on the evolution and change of Shinichi, as a tragic event through the series happens to him. And pretty much, I'm not going to tell you too much of what happens, but basically, his heart gives out. I guess I could go along those lines. Um, his heart is pretty much like gone, and Miggy finds a way to help him, but at a cost, and it's a disadvantage. Now, that disadvantage pretty much could cause, it's pretty much a life or death situation. If a parasite finds out what that disadvantage is, he's dead. If he happens to be cornered by parasites or being tracked down by parasites before the disadvantage is over with, before after the situation that the disadvantage happens to bring upon them, they're dead. Simple as that. But it doesn't happen that way. I mean, there are a few close calls throughout the series, but overall, no, that he doesn't die. Miggy does not die. I mean, not Miggy, but Shinichi. And basically, they're learning, and Miggy pretty much starts, I guess you could say, he talked with Shinichi. He says, the only real thing that Miggy doesn't understand is the human emotion. And eventually it comes to the point where, Shinichi, he used to understand. He feels like, he's like, what happened to me? And pretty much he goes from being your normal human being who understands emotion to being, in some cases, a cold, ruthless, hardcore killer who kills these parasites. And then when it comes to being with, I guess you could say, around normal people, like his girlfriend, his parents, friends, all that stuff, and normal situations that he comes in contact with normal people with, he's like 10 times more aggressive with, and people start to realize what's happened to him. They don't know that he has a parasite in his left hand, but they do start to notice changes about his personality and everything. And you really do see the struggle between him and all this stuff. There are a few tragedies throughout the series. Uh, People die. People he knows dies. People Shinichi knows die. Um, I mean, there's just a whole lot of death surrounding the series. I don't know if I said this, but the main themes that this show includes are sci-fi, horror, and I believe, wait, and maybe, I mean, I don't know if the whole sci-fi genre covers aliens, but um, pretty much aliens too. And I gotta say, this manga is not for you if you don't like gore, blood, guts, what else? Scabbing. I'm talking about like as in a healing, like you bleed and like a scab covers it. If you don't like scabbing, this series pretty much takes it to the extreme. I'm just gonna say that now. I mean, there are so many like hilarious moments throughout the series, like and like I will say this though, not as in hilarious, but as in like freaking amazing how he changes. Shinichi goes from being your normal weak-minded, weak-willed high school student in a way to being the most athletic person ever because of the changes that happened after his heart went out and Miggy healed him. Some complications of that might have heightened some of his abilities. This guy is like running down a highway, running faster. Like he's running I mean, I'm not talking about like flash speed. I mean, this is like more of a realistic kind of basis. This guy is like, he's just running like at the same speed of the car. The guy looks out the window. He's like, that sort of thing. And then there was also a point in time where Miggy had sensed a parasite, and he tells him, just run, keep and jump over this or something. And the girl that that Shinichi was walking with tells him, "Oh wait, come back! I guess I should have told him that there was a seawall up there. If he keeps running, he's gonna like go just smack right into it." But this guy, he just runs and then he just scales the whole seawall. I'm not talking about climbs like I'm talking about hurdles. Hurdles are just like jumping straight over something. This guy scaled a seawall, which was ridiculous. I mean, to me, I thought it was hilarious. But yeah, so definitely check out Parasyte. It's got some funny moments in it. It got some moments in it that'll make you think about how, I guess you could say, the connection between, what does it mean to be human again. I know you're probably getting tired of that whole theme, but this series does it a little bit differently and brings a new kind of style to the table. Also, this series has an entirely different art style to it. I mean, it's a little bit dated. I'm not sure exactly what year, but just by judging by the characters' hair, clothing style, and a few other things, I could pretty much tell that maybe this series is a little bit older than your typical manga. But it's still worth reading, trust me. So with that being said, this is the Anime Blaze signing out, telling you I'm going to be doing more manga discussions / reviews. Hopefully these will be up. Hopefully next time I'll be doing Biomega. If not Biomega, then another manga series or something like that that is in my collection. And if I don't do that, next time, hopefully I will have my review of Toko up sometime soon. So, with that being said, this is the Anime Blaze signing out, saying read Parasyte. Dum dum dum.